like we said, we're just gonna call him Onyx Gale. I think it's maybe after the Pokemon Onyx, and I think Onyx was pronounced like that. And he is against TerriEN. So looks like a Hunter Mirror, and this is a mid-range hunter versus a, wait for it, another mid-range. Okay, so basically a mirror match. We might see some tech cards in there, maybe like a snake trap. Sometimes they only run the freezing, so we'll see exactly how these guys split up their decks. But nice even start from both players, and the trap does come out, so he's probably just gonna go face. Now, having your web spinner eat up a trap while no weapon is out is pretty nice to me. I think it's a fair trade. I think Onyx Gale will be willing to take that. Let me answer this question. Okay, so the freezing trap did eat up the dude, but wow, Animal Companion does get the huffer, so a lot of base damage so far. Now, TerriEN is able to get a lot of face damage and basically set the tempo. He doesn't have a nice 4-drop, so he's probably going to run out of nice plays. So if he top stacks a Shredder, obviously he's going to have huge advantage. But Freezing Trap for Onyx Gale does come up, and he is going to basically shut down this Huffer. And as far as the Web Spinner draw, he did get a Raptor, which is fairly decent here. It does combine well with whatever he wants to do. So the 4-drop is not wasted. So he chooses not to go with the hero power, just applying minions as much as possible. And as far as trading, the Mad Scientist does look quite juicy to trade in that Raptor. And okay, so he didn't get a trap, so that means that he's not running Snake Trap or anything. The second Freezing Trap is in his hand. And he just goes with the coin Sludge Belcher rather than going with the Shredder, which is a rather interesting play considering he doesn't have a nice 5-drop. So he's probably going to do a combination of cards here. Looks like a Shredder Web Spinner looks solid. Oh, Hunter's Mark, wow, okay. That seems strange to me, but if it works for him. Yes, Misha, that's probably what he wanted here, to be honest. He's probably really happy with that Misha play, considering it gives the most stats and it works really well in the mirror, considering the mirrors, like even Mech Mage mirrors, they become control battles, right? So Misha is the best stat, so the control battle is the best. Now, we'll probably see, okay, so the Freezing Trap did go up. Oh, it's a Snake Trap. Okay, so the Mad Scientist just spawned that Snake Trap. No synergy as far as anything beyond a Knife Juggler or a Leok or anything. But I would guess, since the Freezing Trap, or I mean the Snake Trap did go up, he probably wanted to develop a Freezing Trap just to take care of the high main. But that's not necessarily an option here, considering he has to do a lot of work to clear all the 1/1s. And he does use a Stone-Touch Spore, which he got from the Web Spinner to clear out that last taunt. And now he's putting on the pressure, going for face. Ooh, Harrison Jones is going to be nice here. We don't see any weapon just yet, but he's probably going to save it until he actually does. And now we see High Main probably go for face. And okay, so he's just going to trade and develop his hyenas. Now the card quality is in favor of TerriEN, along with the board state. So Onyx Gale is probably going to be looking for maybe something a little bit, you know, some nice even trades, probably some good Shredder RNG. He might be looking for like a Succubus or something like that. But Terry's actually gonna go for the Kill Command, which is solid. I mean, it keeps his board alive. Oh, never mind. He's just gonna trade in his board. which sucks, but I guess it does play around like Unleash the Hounds quite nicely. And that's Unleash the Hounds, so okay, so he played that very well. And now Onyx Scale is completely almost blocked out of what he can do. And TerriEN is just... It feels like he's really predicting this mirror match quite nicely. And he's just getting some nice card draw as well. So on this scale, as far as development goes, I guess he's forced to unleash the hounds, but it doesn't really even accomplish much. It would just kill one minion and then just have the other two minions probably go to face, depending on what we see from the Shredder. Looks like he's not going to go for that, just like a hero power. Knife Juggler is decent, so it looks like he probably should have traded his Shredder in first and then go for the Westerner. He could have gotten a 33% chance to kill the snake. And Terry does develop a really fairly decent board now, and the Unleash the Hounds will probably punish a little bit of this, but it's not too big of a deal. Now, as far as what he actually chooses to trade into, looks like it's just the standard stuff. He's going to develop a Croc and maybe a trap as well. Looks like he's just going to hold on to the trap. And TerriEN is just getting some nice top decks. The Shredder is definitely a good development here. Okay, so Onyx Scale is able to fight back a little bit with that Houndmaster. Now, he's probably wanting to try to get the Shredder frozen, but he has a little bit of a problem with the Snake and the Haunted Creeper. I think a frozen Haunted Creeper would be fine as well. I mean, a 4 mana 1/2 is really unattractive to play, but yet we are into those later turns where mana really isn't necessarily a big deal. And we have to keep in mind, this is lethal on the board for TerriEN. So Onyx Scale does have to do a lot of trading. It looks like he's going to go for it. Ancient Watcher is rather useless. I don't know if that can even be activated whatsoever in a 100 deck. I'm trying to think. I was thinking maybe Abusive Sergeant, but that still doesn't really activate it. I'm not sure what... Yeah, so I think that's just going to be a dead minion for the rest of this game, even though it probably won't last longer. Both these guys are top decking, and TerriEN just has a huge board advantage. He even throws down the naked Harrison. The Savannah High Maid will help, but I think that is still lethal. Let's count up real fast. We have... Okay, so that just ruined lethal, dang it. We didn't get to count it. Alright, so the freezing trap does come down as out of necessity. That probably means a frozen snake, but the snake's just gonna go back right in the hand and just come back right back down. We have already seen one Unleash the Hounds, so he's not really worried about, you know, putting stuff on board. So as far as lethal, next turn we have 4, 5, 6, 7, and plus the hero power, so he's good in lethal, but stuff will probably die. Dr. Boom is a really nice draw, and this is the comeback that we could probably see right here. Okay, that's not too relevant. That's just like for the stats. These guys don't have the mana for that to be really effective, or they don't have the cards for it. Oh, he's just gonna give up. Was that lethal? Yeah, I guess that was lethal. Okay. So TerriEN is gonna take the first game with about like 12. Okay, we're into game number 2 against TerriEN versus Onyx Scale. TerriEN is up by 1 game in this best of 3. It looks like he's switched up to a Druid deck, and Onyx Scale is keeping with his mid-range Hunter. And we don't see too much of a crazy start just yet. The Innervate is nice, but generally you want the Wild Growth over the Innervate, so he'll have a nice start. I mean, we could see a, you know, a combination of Coin Innervate and a Sludge Belcher next turn, but So far he has a nice zombie chow, so nothing too crazy has to come out just yet. And as far as honest scales development, I think that the knife juggler kind of sucks. I think the mad scientist is pretty solid, considering that would set up for a nice knife juggler a little later on. But he disagrees with me, he goes with the knife juggler, and this is going to be a nice easy trade for Terry. He probably loves to kill those things with a 1-mana minion that is designed to do that. So it looks like the coin innervate sludge belcher is going to be played. Now that's going to be really annoying. He does have a freezing trap that is pretty effective against those. Anything innervated out is, you know, freezing trap is the bane of it. So I would love to see him play that here rather than the animal companion. Now that's going to force Terry to really hold down on this, and he's probably not going to attack for a while until he can maybe... Yeah, the mind control tech is going to be bait for that. Probably just, yeah, pass the turn, nice. Okay, so TerriEN is playing this really solidly. Animal companion, not too bad. Or I mean, kind of bad. He probably wanted to, like, a Misha there. And here we go, freezing trap's going to go up, and my control test can go back in the hand, but yeah, Onyx Gale knows that that's in the hand, which is nice. So he's probably not going to play more than 3 minions. If he does, it's obviously a misplay, and he didn't really keep in mind that that was in the hand. Well, Goth's going to develop him, get him to 6 mana next turn, so that's going to be nice. He doesn't really need it, but it's there if he wants it. Now, does he? Okay, so he's going to trade. And that means that a hero power and the slime could kill the knife juggler, and that's... I think that's what he might do, considering he just got a shredder. Knife jugglers can be quite dangerous, so they're considered, you know, top priority, at least for killing. Savannah High Main, nice top deck. Okay. Now, this is going to be a real pain in the ass for the druid to deal with. Obviously he has a minion on board to start trading, but the minion doesn't even trade it like effectively, kill it, I mean. So we'd have to supplement the 1 extra damage, maybe with a swipe or a hero power. And he doesn't have to swipe just yet, so he has to get lucky. Maybe he gets a wrap off the top or something like that. And he decides not to do this fan high main, he's just gonna do another freezing trap. And with the bow equipped, that's actually probably a really nice play.
Shall I strike?
That bear is just really blocking out what he wanted to do. Man. He might just not attack and force the druid to attack into him, considering this is generally a slower matchup. And he would probably feel comfortable waiting it out, and I vote that that's a solid play. Yeah, he goes with that. He's just gonna hold on his minions. He's gonna let Savannah High Main trade into the very next turn. And as far as what actually gets proc right here from Airy, Airy's just gonna hold on all his minions as well. And that means next turn is gonna be a huge Cenarius. Yeah, he's just setting up for Cenarius' turn. And here we go. 2-2 to everything is going to be a big deal. Or he just might go for a card draw. I'm guessing that he wants to get rid of the trap, so he's just going to throw his BGH into the trap. That's really smart. So far he has used only reactive battle cry style minions to get rid of traps, which is just super effective. He goes with Cenarius as well. I'm not sure it's really nice at the board. Hunter's Mark is a big draw right now. Okay. So we might Hunter's Mark the Cenarius and then have a weapon attack. I think that would probably do, okay, so it's not going to weapon attack into it. Might not even just use Hunter's Mark this turn, which is rather interesting. Now keep in mind, since he's not able to proc it now, he can can get a Keeper of the Grove and essentially just get that Hunter's Mark off, but he doesn't top deck it.
Engaging TC-130 into dislocator.
And then Mind Control tech does come out, so that's kind of unavoidable, but you know, Terry playing that really smart. And on a scale, obviously he saw that earlier in the game, but you just kind of fit into it. Nice 4 damage Wrath comes out. Second bow is not what he wanted. He probably wanted maybe a Dr. Boom. We have seen that in the deck.
I wonder.
Oh, Lowhawker Cho, okay. So that's rather useless. That's probably one of the worst ones you could get, considering TerriEN has no spells. And whenever he does get a spell, he can just kill that whenever he wants. So it might just be a negative effect for Onyx Scale, to be honest. He doesn't have enough board control to essentially set the tempo. Yeah, and he freezes that, which is smart. But if TerriEN was paying attention to the last game, he knows that this guy doesn't run anything beyond the 2 freezing traps, and he's already seen both freezing traps, so that Keeper could have just gone to face, and it would have been way more effective. It looks like he is able to kill off his Cho, which wouldn't be a negative effect, but now he's down to 9 life, and as far as lethal, we have 5. Not lethal just yet, so he should be safe. Looks like he's 1 damage off lethal as far as for TerriEN. Yeah, he's trying to figure out how to trade this, but going to base is probably smartest. You are a hunter, you could potentially stay alive. Okay, so he's not even gonna try, so that's kind of sad. I wish he would have tried a little bit, but TerriEN works with 14 life, and he wins this best of 3 for TerriEN. This, okay, looks like Greason is playing as Hunter as well, so let's make sure we can see his deck. Nice, we got it. And we're actually gonna get a co-caster in here real fast. So let me call him on Skype. We got the Mech Mage. What's up, man? How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, yeah.
Cool, so let me get the screen up for you real fast. And for everyone watching, this is Swiftest. He has cast with us, I think this will be like the 3rd or 4th night.
4th, I think, yeah.
Nice, okay, so this game, so this is TerriEN. He is on a 1-win streak so far, and this is the first game in their best of 3. And so far, Terry has used 3 different decks. He started with a Hunter, going into a Druid, now he's using a Mage.
Interesting.
Yeah. Now, this Mech Mage is just kind of wrecking the board, but Explosive Trap might come in handy. And then the Knife Juggler with the potential Anisha Hounds when he does get it could be kind of fun.
Not the best drop from the Animal Companion there.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's probably the worst. Oh wow, he's just gonna.
Yeah, it's gonna be lethal with that. Yeah.
Okay, so Terry takes a quick victory with 20 life.
Oh yeah. Well, I play Handlock mostly, which is a variant of Life Coach's Handlock, as he's probably one of the best Handlock players in the pro scene at the moment.
Yeah, considering gamers rankings.
Yeah, and I also play a lot of Ramp Druid, but my favorite's probably still Handlock. It's just not very competitive at the moment, so I'm kind of moving away from it a bit.
Okay. Now, are you probably going to use the Handlock in the main tournament?
I'm still really unsure about it. It really just
yeah.
depends on what other decks I've seen so far.
Yeah, you'll play. What group are you in? Are you probably group 3 or group 2?
Group 3, I think.
Okay, so yeah, you'll play a little bit later on, so you should be able to watch the first few nights and kind of get a feel.
Yeah, I will have a bit of time to figure it out at least.
Yeah. Well, as far as this game, we're into turn 2 already, and we got a Senjin on field. And the Farseer is just forced to come out kind of naked.
Yeah, that's not really a bad play when you're playing Oil Rig. You want to kind of get a minion on the board early, even if it's healing for 0 with something like that, but it does just get wrathed away here.
Yeah. And now this Druid kind of looks heavy ramp with the Kel'Thuzad, so we probably see some really heavy taunts, like a Ancient of War. And
Yeah, there is
Rogue's
an
not-
Ancient of War in hand there.
Oh yeah, you're right. I missed that. So if the rogue's not able to sap that, that's gonna be a real pain in the ass. Usually they can't really deal with big minions very well.
Yeah. Well, currently the rogue's going to be looking for a sprint at the moment to play on turn 7. If that doesn't really come up, then there aren't a lot of options. But Shredder can go down here with trading into that Druid of the Claw. So
Yeah, so he's able to get tempo back, and then hopefully we'll see Violet Teacher next turn. Oh, actually, Lotha really blocks out probably what he wanted to do.
yeah, it does a bit.
So it looks like he's just gonna trade his face, hopefully keep his Violet Teacher alive until he could really throw out the spells. And that Shredder drop's really nice, right? I mean, a Loot Hoarder
Yeah,
and a Rogue? Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually really good for the draw there.
Looks like Gressek is going to take care of that Loot Hoarder, give the Rogue a little extra juice for this Violet Teacher. Gets it sap? That'll be nice next turn probably.
I think he might just cycle the Fan of Knives here, and yeah, he does instead of attacking with the face. Kinda needs to keep his life total up a bit now.
Yeah.
Assuming the Druid is running combo, but he might not be, I'm not really sure.
Yeah, combos, especially in the heavy ramp, it's almost like a skipped option. Oh wow, Sunwalker. All right. So yeah, I would vote for no combo, but you never really know. And here
Yeah,
we
2 saps in
probably
hand
go with
here.
the sap, yeah. Wow. Okay, so he's go with the Tinkers. Now this does have like a 50-50 to hit a bad target.
Yeah, it does.
Ooh, okay, yeah, bad target.
And yeah, it does.
But there's no swipe, so hopefully it doesn't come back to hurt him too much.
Yeah, if the swipe doesn't come out, then it's not too much of a problem, really.
Yeah.
Ancient of War just comes down again. That can just be sapped away again.
Yeah. And that is almost a press for lethal, isn't it? If he can hit all his minions there. Looks like he's just gonna cycle. He might. Do you think he's just gonna try to kill it the hard way? Yeah, he's going.
It looks like it, yeah. He doesn't really want to...
That's smart though, considering you have so much power on board, and you don't really want to waste your sap, considering you probably know that this is a heavy taunt druid anyway. I like that. That seems smooth.
So the Druid down to just 10 life, and that leaves... Not lethal on the board, but lethal in hand at the moment. So there is a heal, so that will keep him alive, and Sunwalk will come down as well, but there's a sap for that in hand as well.
Okay, so does deadly poison... Okay, so basically we have 4 damage from hand, 5 if he weapons up.
Yeah, that should be lethal there.
Okay. Plus on board we have 6, 8. Yeah, that's okay. Cool, he's got it then.
Yeah. Yeah, so 2 really quick wins for Terry here.
Yeah, I mean Terry took out his first opponent fairly quick as well, so. Alright, nice, taking that with 18 life. Eladin, okay, so Eladin blocked out. So Eladin has fought with us a lot. And it seems like every night he changes his options to allow us not to see his hand. So apparently he has some bad friends that he just kind of wants to hide his hand every day from, and changes his settings every night for us. So appreciate that once he can fix that up. Okay, cool. We'll reload this. And so just you're there, dude, right? You're just quiet?
Yeah, I'm here, yeah.
Okay, cool. Alright, so control warrior versus standard shaman looks like. And Terry again switching up his decks, as we can see here. He's used 4 decks so far, and this is gonna be the 5th, so that's gonna be fun. The Nubian Egg is one of those swing cards that you sometimes see in Shaman, which kind of means more of a, I would guess, a slower deck, more minion based probably, rather than more like a spell based one.
Yeah, that's highly likely here. Probably with... say that there might be a Bloodlust in this deck as well,
Yeah, we've seen
considering that it might be minion based.
1 or 2 guys running it. It's never had too much success yet. They still run it, but hopefully we get some action with that.
Interesting that he uses the Cruel Taskmaster here instead of the Whirlwind.
Yeah. Be a little more. I guess he just wants to develop minions. And it's a little more mana efficient, and it will answer a mana type a little bit better, considering Eldon's probably gonna throw that down if he didn't. If he would have gotten rid of the weapon charge like he did last turn anyway.
Yeah, so he probably wanted to keep a Whirlwind, I'd say, for something like a Armorsmith activator and things like that, but also just to get a Cruel Taskmaster, like a body on the board at least.
Yeah, and it works really great here. I mean, he's able to get rid of the mana tide. And, okay, so looks like he valued the health of the Armorsmith over the 1 extra armor, well, I guess 2 extra armor that would have given him. That's probably because he has a Shield Maiden, right? He probably doesn't need the stock armor just yet.
Yeah, he's probably not really thinking about building up too much armor from a Whirlwind like that at the moment.
Yeah. And yet, next turn he's able to defend his Shield Maiden with the Sludge Belcher, so the armor will start rolling in quite heavily.
Yeah, he's gonna have a lot of it very soon, and this removes the Zombie Chow there. And that's the second Zombie Chow that's been played, and Shredder comes down now, so...
Yeah. Curious, so whenever he does want to activate the egg, he can, with the Flame Tongue Totem. So, not willing to do it just yet, but next turn I think it'd be a good play to Flame Tongue, even though we'll probably just straight up die, but it does kind of get rid of the board.
Yeah, it does remove that Belcher, and then you can attack into the... You'd be able to remove the Death Rattle Slime as well.
Do you think maybe a Flame Tongue plus a Lightning Storm would be nice?
It could definitely work, yeah. Terry did choose to not use his weapon there, probably to preserve the Cruel Taskmaster behind the Belcher.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think Lightning Storm would be really good here, just considering it would basically clear the board. Oh, he's gonna go with the Lightning Bolt rather than the Flame Tongue.
Yeah, so he's gonna Lightning Bolt that and then Lightning Storm, I think. And yeah, that's what comes out.
And then that will allow the Shredder probably to remove the slime. Nice.
And so it ends up with just the Armorsmith on the board and kind of limits the Warrior's options a bit.
Yeah, and then the Taunt Totem is actually really annoying. Do you think if that without the Taunt Totem, he would probably attack the Shredder with his weapon?
I think he probably would have, yeah, but with that Taunt Totem there, it's just not ideal at all.
Yeah.
But Sylvanas is still a strong turn 6 play here with such a large board on.
Yeah, that's a good point. And I mean, he can't really even trade the stuff into it to kill it and then hopefully get no value, so it's almost guaranteed value for Sylvanas. An Earthshock
Yeah,
would be nice, so do you think he would try to stall out until he gets an Earthshock, maybe with a Mana Tide?
He could try to stall out, yeah, he could just play the Mana Tide here and try and get some draws going. It looks like he's thinking about the Flame Tongue instead, actually. Maybe to remove that Armorsmith.
So he's gonna go with crap minions, see what the Sylvanas steals. Yeah, that's a pretty good steal.
Yeah, that's a pretty good steal, and on top of that, that means that there's no activator for the egg now.
Would you argue that would probably be the best steal, or do you think the Frostwolf Grunt is maybe a little better?
I think Flame Tongue was probably the best, as it was buffing up the egg, and now the egg is just unable to really do much.
SOL. Now, in general, I'm not essentially a control warrior. It's too expensive a deck for me, but who do you think is more favored in, like, over 1,000 games?
It's really hard to tell. I really hate control warriors because I'm a handlock player.
Okay.
And so it's like two slow decks playing against each other and it goes to fatigue about every single game.
I would take
So-
a guesstimate that, you know, the shaman would be favored just because they have a lot of annoying minions and the, you know, warrior probably can't deal with them all too well. But we're not exactly seeing that in this game, at least.
Yeah, no, we're not seeing that at the moment. And the shaman is playing a slightly slower deck, which is a bit of a problem for the warrior. Well, not for the warrior, sorry, for the shaman. Because it allows the warrior to build up his armor over time, and it's really not what you want in this matchup.
Whoa, Frothing Berserker, did you see that? Wow.
That's a very interesting card in this.
Yeah. Now, Eldon does have really solid protection for his mana type, but we might just see it shield slammed? Yeah, okay. It's gonna get shield slammed. A little bit overkill, not too much, but...
A little 15 damage.
Hi. Now, Eldon's gonna keep top decking. He might hex the Shield Maiden. Yeah, there's a lot of juicy minions to actually hex in a warrior deck. So he
Yeah,
might
you've
save
got
that.
Harrison. We could see things like Dr. Boom still. Alex Straza and Ysera are played in Control Warrior.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen any big minions actually from Terry just yet, so...
Yeah, and of course Baron Geddon is something as well. And
Yeah, Baron Geddon's like
It's
an
just-
anti-shaman card all in one.
yeah, there's a reason why people think the Control Warrior is pay to win.
Yeah. So
A lot of legendaries.
I would like for him to probably keep the Hex. He has a decent board already, and the Shield Maiden, you know, will only kill one minion per turn and eventually die, so he's probably fine with keeping it alive. And Argus probably saw it play, but he's probably thinking about Brawl.
I think you might want Argus, the Egg, and the... Okay, that's interesting. I would have probably played the Argus on the Egg and the other Argus, and then traded to get that 4/4 and taken out the Shield Maiden at the same time.
Okay.
That belongs in a museum.
So here we go with the Frothing Berserker, and that might prompt the Hex, or he still hasn't gotten Earthshock. Okay, so Feral Spirit's not too useful.
No, not too useful in this situation. It will spawn 2 minions for him at least, but
I think it would be safe generally, probably just to trade into the Berserker, considering you have
Yeah, well,
plenty of taunts up.
the Berserker really does need to go down. Yeah, you should attack something else before the Shield Maiden just to make sure he gets the armor first.
Well, I mean, potentially the Berserker is only really a threat unless it hits your face or like a big minion, and he doesn't have that. He doesn't have that option, right? He would just run into a whole bunch of little taunts. So I guess he doesn't
but-
see your point of view and just takes it out right away.
Yeah, and like what just came up here is the Belcher, and if you get a Belcher in front of that Berserker, it could
That's
be a
good.
real problem.
Yeah, that's true.
And then if that Berserker gets big enough, then you know you're looking at hexing a 4-mana minion, and that's just not really ideal.
Yeah. So he's probably gonna Rock Biter himself. Oh, he's just gonna okay. That's gonna allow him to basically clear the board if he trades him in wolf. Yep. Alright. And this egg, we have to remember this egg has been on the board since turn 2 and still has stayed there.
Yeah, so the Shaman's keeping pretty good control at the moment, and double shield block,
Yeah.
shield block into shield block. And there's Alex Strasser, and there's no hex for that this time around.
Yeah. Plenty of taunts to protect himself from the actual hits from Alex Strauss, but he's probably just gonna have to kill it the hard way. He's developing plenty of minions to eventually do that. And then the Flametongue Totem with all those crappy minions is probably gonna be huge. Oh, second Frothing Berserker.
I bring life.
2 Frothing Berserkers, that's very interesting.
Yeah. I mean,
Alex Strasser played, and
it makes sense.
It's just a weird card to see in Control Warrior.
Yeah, I mean,
But-
it's a standard card in like Aggro Warrior and then like Math Warrior, but those aren't really considered very competitive. So the
Yeah,
seal
no,
for
they
Control
aren't.
Warrior, I mean, it makes sense to me just because you have plenty of activators, you have plenty of whirlwinds and such, and you know, whenever opponent does see it, they're definitely scared. Just like we were mentioning how it can be defended by the Sludge Belcher and whatnot, and just become a huge threat. So
Yeah,
it's definitely
and-
another bait for Hex and such, and then allow your other minions to work their magic.
So Doctor Boom and Earthshock looks really good.
Yeah, their shock will do too. So looks like he's probably gonna look to kill the frothing right away. And probably just sit on the Hex, right? You don't really need it just yet.
On the Earthshock, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, their shock.
It was an option to use there, but it's good to hold as well.
Okay. So one execute's gonna go down, and that means that 2 shield slams and then 1 execute is use the other ones in the hand. So the next big minion's probably gonna go down, but he's safe for now.
Still haven't seen a Bloodlust in this deck, but it looks really likely at the moment.
Yeah. Now, as far as trading, I think that maybe throwing the egg into the Cruel Task and then using a Boombot to finish it off would probably be a good start. And then seeing what the Boombot actually hits after that. I think that's probably how we should trade it. Maybe it goes with Lightning Storm, considering that's not too of an important card, and he does get good value here. I need to answer Godmass Day's question real fast.
I wonder.
So do you think he should use the Lightning Storm here?
You definitely could. I mean, the Warrior has 1 card in hand. You've seen a lot of his card draw already. It's not likely that you're going to get in a position where you're going to be able to use it at a decent value again, and
Yeah, and then they could potentially just do half the health of Alexstrasza. And
yeah.
You're not really worried about the overload effect, considering, top deck anyway, so.
Yeah, you're really not picking up anything, but it looks like he just wants to go face here, and
That's strange.
no, he does trade into the Cruel Taskmaster as well, doesn't he? No, he doesn't.
No, just.
Very interesting, and Kel'Thuzad is a interesting card to have here. It's not going to get much value
Yeah,
out of this, but
probably going to hit Earthshocks.
oh, so he can do that to just take out that 4/4,
Oh, wow, there's your
and
Bloodlust
there's
Warrior.
the Bloodlust, but that's not going to do 53
Yeah,
damage.
I mean, 53, the armor is way up, so if this would have been like a standard, if the opponent was at 30, okay, this is gonna do, so 6 times
18.
3, yeah, 18 damage plus, 19, 20, okay. So it would
This
have been
is,
like maybe 25 damage?
yeah, maybe, but this is going to clear the board for the Shaman and leave some of his minions with this Lightning Storm, so
Yeah,
definitely a really good top deck there.
yeah. He still has the Earthshock in case like a Sludge Belcher or something hits the field. That's right. Okay, so let's check. Okay, we have 6 and 7, so pretty much even. We're probably gonna see fatigue. Now he's setting up to whirlwind the whole board in. The whirlwind effect will go off first for the Haunted Creeper and then the Death Bite, so the creepers will die.
Oh, it's a Taunt Totem.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's a crucial taunt totem.
And now the Fire Elemental can come down without being in danger of getting hit by that Death Spite as well.
Yeah. So the Haunted Creeper along with the Fire Elemental safe. And Armor Smith's kind of a dead draw. And this is what we were talking about earlier. I mean, the Shaman throws down so many like little creatures that the Warrior just can't get rid of them. We haven't seen a brawl yet, so that's gonna be, crucial whenever it does hit, but
Yeah, well, you'd expect at least one brawl, but we have yet to see one at all, and He's saving that Death Spite charge.
Yeah, let's see. That means that if he's saving it, he's probably gonna expect, you know, the brawl to come down, and then he's able to kill whatever survives.
Yeah, that definitely seems like a Dr. Boom a good play here. But Hex is in hand.
So he does use it on the taunt totem, which is rather interesting. Huh. Oh, a crackle would be really good. That's gonna go up to 5, 8. So that's, and he has plenty of minions to actually finish off the boom if crackle doesn't actually do it. Oh, looks like he doesn't want to go with the fun play.
Yes, he still does just want to throw down the Hex. Might be able to use the Crackle for some reach later. Maybe, but
Yeah.
it was probably just a little bit too risky there, really.
Yeah. And I mean, he probably realizes the warrior is just top decking, so he probably feels safe using his biggest removal, and like you said, the crackle would be some nice reach. So I guess that is just lethal on board.
Yeah.
You can do some removing, but Boombots probably have to get lucky to actually kill some things. I guess that's decent. Is that still lethal? I guess he trades, probably not.
No, yeah, it should be lethal with Crackle there, and definitely with the Fire Elemental.
Okay, so we have 8. Environmental is going to go up to 11. And Crackle, okay, yeah, cool. That's going to be it then. Oh, he's not going for it.
Oh, that's interesting.
Okay, so, well, I mean, Crackle would have had to hit for 4. So a little bit of risk there. I guess he's just, he probably, hopefully he realized. He almost had it. But
Yeah.
there's the brawl, second to last card in the deck.
That is really unfortunate. And it's going to be one of the elementals that comes out on top, and
Yeah.
with the Crackle in hand, that looks like it might be it. The Nerubian Egg, the last card in the deck, and the warrior just concedes.
Yep, nice. So Eladin's gonna start the series off with 15 health. Okay, game number 2. This is Terry versus Eladin.
versus Jane.
And
You asked for it.
okay, hold on.
The hunt begin.
Oh yeah, we're good. So Terry versus Eladin, we got. Ooh, is this gonna be Tempo Mage versus? Yeah, this is Tempo Mage versus Midrange Hunter. Looks like.
Yeah, well, we did see a high main there, so definitely mid-range.
Yeah, this Tempo Mage has been kind of popular in the past few days. We saw, who was it? One of our contestants a few nights ago got really good win streak. I think he went up to 3 or 4 just by playing only Tempo Mage the whole night, and no one like counterdecked him or anything. So it's
Yeah, Temper Mage is actually really strong at the moment.
yeah. I mean, it's almost like another little spin-off of Mage. So Mage has a lot of little things that they got going with the Freeze Mage, you know, the Mech Mage, and all that such. So it's almost becoming more diverse than the Warlock. And wow, okay, so he develops a Freezing Trap, so that probably means that he has Snake Trap in this deck as well. Yeah, I think he does, because I saw Terry's, one of his first games, he was playing this, and yeah, I think he did get a Snake Trap.
What to do? What to do?
Now, okay, so Eladin's turn looks like a Frostbolt and maybe a coin. Either a coin on single portal or set up another. So it looks like he's just set up the first trap, and we know the second one is Snake.
Yeah, and Harrison Jones in this hunter deck as well.
Yeah.
He isn't gonna generate much value in the mage matchup, but
No. We saw it do some work in the Hunter mirror, but probably won't do much. We have seen Billatron run like in the Mech Mage. Reynad was famous for using it, but probably not in the Tempo Mage. So probably just
Yeah, it's not
draw
really.
minion.
It's not particularly a card regularly used.
Yeah. Fun card though, but I guess too RNG based for people to have too much good results
Yeah.
with it. Now, probably a Shredder, or maybe he's... Okay, he's just testing the trap. He knows that it's not freezing trap, considering, you know, it did go up with a freezing trap in hand, so I guess he's just testing explosive right there. And now he knows
Yes.
the next trap.
And he's thinking sorcerers and maybe playing a portal here, I think.
That seems strange. I guess he's just using the sorceress as a nice minion to kill the Shredder.
But the Shredder does seem like a stronger play here, just
Yeah,
as it
I would think
trades
so.
pretty well with the other Shredder.
Ooh, Huffer's probably a bad one to have, to be honest. Or maybe he's just going for face damage. Oof. That's sad. Yeah, that Russell
That's
grunt.
pretty unfortunate.
Yeah. So I think Terry got probably a solid minion out of his own Shredder with the Defender. Trades well with the
Yeah, the
board,
tooth-
stays alive.
Yeah, the 2-3 is really nice to get a drop there.
Yeah. Now Eldon probably going to develop an Azure Drake, just getting some card draw. He has plenty of card draw already. I personally want to kind of what seeds out of the Unstable Portal. I think the funnest one that we saw during this tournament might have been we saw like the Beast, maybe. We saw some really fun ones. I'm trying to think.
Yeah, I got a Kel'Thuzad from it the other day.
Nice, and you got probably some good trading value.
Yeah, definitely. With a 5-mana Kel'Thuzad, it's
Yeah,
pretty
really,
ridiculous.
really easy to play. Oh, and he gets
One's out on me.
He gets a sniper, so not really useful for a mage, but no, someone did a lot of, or I guess not a lot of research, but someone, when the card was first announced, I think it was like Firebat or someone, they did a little article saying that it could potentially be used in a lot of decks, but it's only practically used in Hunter. That's the only one that would effectively be able to use the effect.
Yeah.
I see some really lucky knife jugglers. Chooses not to trade in. That seems weird. I would
Don't think he wants to proc the secret, but now the juggler's going to die, so it's not really ideal at all.
Well, I mean, the juggler would probably die anyway, but that still forces your opponent, you know, only on 4 mana to actually do the ping.
for games.
Yeah, and now he gets to play Sylvanas instead of pinging and being forced to play probably Mad Scientist.
Oh, maybe
Like,
he
he's just-
did that just because he knows he has a snake trap up. And he
Oh
knows-
yeah, I forgot about the snake trap, yeah.
So here we go, and the secret's probably counterspell Mirror Entity. Yep, it's Mirror Entity. He's able to throw it on.
What? Reaper's a perfect card to take that Mirror Entity there as well.
Yeah. Now, Sylvanas can't die here, so that's a really nice Sledge Belcher. And you still have your Knife Juggler alive, so base damage is gonna come down. Do you think... I was thinking he might Fireball, but he still has the second taunt to get through, so Snake Trap is forced to get procced here.
Yeah. It's only going to draw out 2 snakes here. And one of them takes out that creeper.
That's probably a good thing, considering the Creeper now will have, like, res sickness. So it's not
Yeah,
an
and-
attack.
Yeah. And ping on the juggler there.
Yeah, that's really solid. He was wanting to do a flame cannon, but everything has 1 health anyway, so ping does work quite well. Top decks the owl.
Yep, really good on the Sylvanas, and
Oh,
you can pretty much just trade with the board and clear it off now. And
Yeah.
Lotheb is really good.
yeah, I mean, now he's almost going to be... Yeah, he's going to be pushing lethal. I was going to count last turn if he had it, but You just played the turn too fast, and now it's almost guaranteed to be lethal. He can get lucky with the flame cannon and ping to kill the Lotheb, but it's gonna take a lot. Well, actually, 7 mana.
Well, he can't. He
Yeah.
can't even flame cannon ping.
So is he okay? Maybe a yellow rag to kill the guy, and that's probably his only way to live. Or,
Yeah, it looks like the only way that he's going to get out of this one. There's no way that he can proc his own
okay, well that's
scientist or
7.
anything.
Wait, so that's 7. That's 9. He has to get a Leok or a Huffer, and he gets Leok. Okay, so yeah, there you go.
Yeah, and that'll do it.
So Terry, so this match is tied up. Terry at 24 life. Game 3 of this best of 3, Eldon versus Terry. And so far Terry is on a 2-win streak, so Eldon's trying to kick him out of the tree. And hopefully Terry can hang on for a bit. And he has a Face Hunter versus a Control Warrior. And as a fellow Face Hunter myself, I know that this is kind of a rough matchup. The Warrior has a lot of ways to answer minions and a lot of ways to heal. So Terry's probably gonna, maybe he has like the heavier cards and Leroy Jenkins to actually help him out at the very end, but might be quite interesting.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen the Face Hunter deck yet from Terry here, so
No, he's just
we have seen mid-range, but
everything at us today. Have we seen him play the same deck twice? What did he?
he played mid-range twice.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Mid-range Hunter.
Alright, so Terry's probably signifying that this is face just by coining out the Haunted Creeper. So Eldon responds quite quick. He's able to kill a majority of these with the Krotaskan Whirlwind.
Yep, and Mad Scientist a quick play there, but Whirlwind comes down and that's going to take out the board.
I'm guessing Explosive Trap. We'll take a look. Yep, Explosive Trap. So the Worgen is really good here, considering that forces Terry to throw his minion in and keeps, you know, a minion on board.
It's a Sludge Belcher picked up there, and that can go down next turn to really stabilize this board and stop the Face Hunter from, well, hitting face for a bit. But the Wolf Rider or Abusive Sergeant will take it out quite quickly,
Yeah.
if anything.
This turn, for Eldon at least, was rather dry, only hero powering. Then Terry, wow. Already down to 18 health on turn 4. With some really solid answers, to be honest, just that turn 4 is really dry.
Yeah, so a really tradable board here for Terry with that weapon on the field there.
I'm guessing the Wolf Rider should stay alive. He might just use his weapon. Okay, so, yeah, okay, wow. That's what you were thinking was gonna be the trade, right?
Yeah, that was what I was thinking was going to be it.
Okay, cool. So he's able to
So
keep
down to
2 minions alive.
Made to fit.
And Eldon probably needs to get a second Sludge Belcher or like a Shield Maiden to heal up a bit.
Yeah, things really looking grim for him at the moment. He just can't stabilize this board yet.
Silence on the Armorsmith is kind of a big deal too. You kind of rely on that thing.
Yes, that removes another way to get armor for the warrior here, and BGH just is not a good draw.
Yeah. Okay, so he's forced to armor up every turn. Shield Slam probably on the wolf. Okay. So he's down to 9 life. Hunter's obviously really dry, but he can also get his kill commands here shortly and any other charge. He's only used 1 Wolf Rider, so he can get his Arcane Golems, maybe a Leroy. Actually, pull
Yes,
this one
Knife.
out.
Knife Juggler and Leponome.
Yeah.
Knife Juggler, pretty much a guaranteed 2 damage. Cruel Taskmaster can take it out here.
Yeah. What do you think is the best way to kill the Knife Juggler, though? Just throwing in the BGH, I guess? I guess that's the best way.
What now?
Yeah, I think you kind of have to. Unless he's gonna decide to just use his weapon here, but I don't think he's in a position where he can, because it's gonna put him in range of a top deck kill command and hero power, so
Yeah. I think they probably should attack face, maybe set up the death rattle for next turn, depending on whatever minions do come out, considering they mostly just have 1 health anyway.
yeah, that would be probably best to do with the weapon. He's just gotta trade with the board here, and he has to remove the minions. He's gonna have to remove that, get rid of that BGH somehow.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, he goes with your style of play, using the cool task. And that gives him hope, but we'll see with the top deck. Usually anything you top deck as this face hunter does damage directly to the face, but that's not one of them.
Yeah.
So, probably smart to hold on that. You can silence whatever taunt comes out for your chargers.
Just not getting the correct pickups at the moment. Dr. Boom isn't too bad. It does give him a semblance of a board here, but he's looking for probably shield maidens and shield blocks at the moment, and he's just not getting them.
Oh, unleash the hounds, that's it. I was trying to think if you got like a top deck
Yeah.
block, that would be lethal, but unleash the hounds is just gonna block that out. Terry taking 21 life on that. And that means Terry's gonna go up to a 3-win streak, and we have plenty of opponents for him to face tonight, so we'll just TerriEN, I think is the best way to pronounce that. He's playing Warlock. Let me make sure we can see his hand.
Your soul shall be mine.
No. Wait, hold on a sec.
Your back.
And we'll just reload this real fast. Looks like we have an oil rogue and some variation of, you know, demon warlock, hand warlock, or any combination in between. So we got it? Cool. And so since you're still with us, right? You're just quiet?
Yeah, man, yeah.
Cool. Okay, so, ooh, wow. Shadow Bolt, rather a strange card, but
Definitely a very fast Zoolock by the look of it.
Zulok, okay. I was trying to think of why you would have a Shadow Bolt, but okay, we'll go with the Zulok theme. Hopefully that's kind of what we see.
Why do you call?
Well, I mean, we see the Void Walker and the Abusive Sergeant, and those are relatively
Well, I mean,
Zoo-type cards, but
both those can be played in like a Demon Warlock, you know, Booth Sergeant to proc the BGH, but I think you're right with the Ogre Bad Guy. So, oh, do you think this is like the old school, like, control spell damage Warlock? That
yeah, it
is
definitely actually could be.
never really competitive, but maybe that's what we'll see. And against a guy like Terry, who's kind of been slaughtering everyone all night, this hopefully will be entertaining to watch, and maybe we'll see a nice little spin on the meta right here if this is able to take one out.
Yeah. Demon Fire, a really interesting card as well, being used on the Void Walker there.
Yeah, and no sap to answer it, so he just has to go through it the hard way. Generally on buffed minions like that, like if a priest buffs up with Balance Chosen, the rogue's immediate response is to sap it, but he's not that lucky and just goes through it the hard way. And that's a lot of removal wasted on a 1-mana creature.
Yeah, it is, but it does give the Rogue the board here with the SI7, and that's exactly what the Rogue wants, is to be playing the initiative here.
Yeah, and he's able to follow up the SI7 agent with a Shredder. That'll probably die to a Shadow Bolt, but depending on what comes out, hopefully an Abusive Sergeant will be able to kill the 2-mana guy. Looks like he's debating a Hellfire, which would be kind of strange. That wouldn't enable him to do a... Oh, okay, so a Silence, that works too. I was just thinking, if he did the Hellfire, that wouldn't enable to do Abusive Sergeant to kill the 2-mana thing. But plenty of options. There we go. Do you think Creeper's a...
Does go with the Hellfire. For a Rogue, it's pretty good actually. They do get that. If the death rattle does go off, they still get that there's 2 minions on the board that can be activators.
For the oil,
You know, like hit by oil and things like that. So
yeah, I guess it works.
definitely a decent job for the rogue.
And considering the lack of AoE, I mean, the Mortal Coil will help a little bit, but he did have to use his AoE rather early, so yeah, definitely probably a good drop from the Shredder. Now, maybe trying to think of a Shadow Bolt onto the Farseer, but doesn't go for it. And now this, okay, I think this Ogre Magi is like the first drop that Terry has seen, at least, of kind of something rather weird. So far everything has been standard, you know, with the Hellfires and whatnot. But this Ogre Magi is like the first thing where it's like, oh my god, what is this?
Yeah, definitely not a card you see in constructed play. And it would definitely be confusing Terry at the moment, so...
And it forces Terry to, you know, use his Deadly Poison with only 1 charge, so... Oh, wow.
And the Molten Giant, so it looks like a mixture of a few different decks here, and...
Yeah. Now, that probably means that we'll probably see, like, an Argus, maybe a Defender... Well, which one's cheaper as far as rarity? I think the Argus is considered a blue, right?
Yeah.
And then...
I think they're...
Are they both blue?
Defender and Sun Fury are both blue, yeah.
Okay, so maybe he's having trouble... Well, this is... Okay. Yeah, well, I don't know. We'll just have to see. But we'll assume so far that he has both of them, considering he's running Moltens.
The turn 7 sprint is really good here.
Yeah, and that sets him up with a nice 4-mana Azure Drake from the Pentest
And there's
Summoner.
Trogzor there. Trogzor could be really good against this rogue deck, actually.
Yeah,
You can see the hand is absolutely filled with spells at the moment.
yeah. So, he probably wants to get rid of the minions before playing Trogzor, considering it will just die straight up to trades. And hopefully the Ascension can do that.
Even playing a sap on that Trogzor would still mean...
The 3/5 would come out, right? That'd be really good.
well, yeah, you'd still get the Burly Rockjaw draw coming out of it, and
And just
that's
to
really
confirm,
not ideal.
The Burly Rock Draw is the 3/5, not the 2/3, correct?
Yes, the 3/5. The Rock Splinter Trog is the 2/3.
Okay, cool. So he's not able to get
Yeah.
board control just yet for the Trogzor.
Shadowbolt should definitely help, and
Probably.
he might drop a Molten here.
Yeah, that's gonna be.
And tap a lot of spell damage in this deck.
Yeah.
The Dalaran Major Geomancer, and of course the Magi we saw earlier.
I remember when I first created like my first mage deck, it was like a pure. Okay, so we're just gonna see lethal. That was not fun. But anyway, my first mage deck was like a spell damage mage deck too. So he's probably trying to do the same concept just for with Warlock, and we'll try to see if it works out in game number 2. All right, here we go. Game number 2: Tarson versus Terry. Terry's currently on a 3-win streak. Tarson's trying to take that away from him, and he has another fun deck for us. He's running a Inner Fire Priest.
Ooh, I used to hate these decks.
Yeah, so
Where, like, in one turn you would just get absolutely destroyed by
yeah,
buffs.
so to remind kind of everyone what the theme of this deck will be, it will be buffing the shit out of one minion and then using Inner Fire to buff the attack power, since the health will probably be buffed through like Power Word Shield and Balance Chosen and whatnot. And then you're gonna have one minion with maybe 20 attack and 20 health. If the Druid can't answer that, considering the Druids don't run hard removal, the Priest will probably just straight out win. So
Druids do run a lot of silence though with the keepers, so
yeah, that's true. So hopefully we won't see any silence, and hopefully some huge minions come out. The Trogzor is in this deck as well, along with Menexa, which probably works great considering it has the huge health.
yeah. This should be Coin Thought still here.
Yeah, and against a druid, you're probably gonna get some nice things. You know, if you do that like against a rogue, you're probably gonna get some crappy things. But hopefully the druid has some nice heavy drops for TerriEN eventually.
He just decides to heal up instead. He might be looking to coin out a shield master next turn.
Yeah. Now,
But yeah, against
as far as dealing with the shredder, I mean the shade. Usually we see, you know, priests go for the Alchemy and then circle combo, but I'm guessing that might not be in this deck, so it might just be forced to grow. And then you were saying something, Swiftest?
yeah, so for a druid, like, obviously you're looking with Thought Steal, things like combo, and there's Druid of the Claw, swipes, even Innovate's good. There's not really many cards at all that you're going to be unhappy to get from that,
Yeah.
from a druid deck.
Yeah. What we're referring to as a bad thing from a rogue would be like Deadly Poison or Blade Flurry, things that synergize with the weapon, but druids
Yeah.
don't have any resources that the priest can't use. So yeah, Swift just kind of hit the definitely right there with all the, you know, the heavy minions, all the spells are definitely very viable in this priest deck.
The only thing you maybe don't want to see is a wild growth, but even then it's hard draw later on, I guess, so...
That's true, yeah. Okay. Okay, so as far as this turn, I guess he could juice up his Ghostshire Footman one more time, and that wouldn't get him in range to kill the bear, but almost. He could just heal his Goldshire Footman back up.
So he gets the 3 damage off falling over due to the Valens.
And that's something that doesn't really come up too much, is that Valens Chosen actually does get spell damage, which I didn't initially see until they actually did it.
So he swipes away the Footman there, which probably doesn't really feel great, but...
Now Menexa...
Divine Spirit.
Okay, so Menexa may get Divine Spirit, put her up to 16 health, but there is a silence, like we mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
Oh, and if you get Divine Spirit on this thing, its attack goes up with it without even a need for an inner fire, so wow.
Yeah, Light Spawns.
Should be fun.
But still might finally come down here. But chooses to Divine Spirit again, and that might just be a target for the silence here.
Yep. But it's gonna first kill the Dr. Boom, which is definitely worth it, I think.
And from the Thought Steal, he gets an Ancient of Law and a Swipe, and those 2 pretty big pickups.
Yeah, work really nice. I think the swipe is pretty good considering he has Valens Chosen just to get the extra spell damage, but other than that, it might be considered a bad drop, but consider the spell damage, probably really solid. And then obviously lures are always wanted.
Yeah, 2 extra card draw is just insane.
Yeah. Oh. Is this lethal? With 6? Ooh. Alright, well, we'll just let him do it. We're not going to count anything.
Yeah, I think it might be, yeah.
Wow.
With the 12... Yeah, it's gonna be lethal.
Yep, there we are. Dang it! So TerriEN didn't get to do too many fun things, but he's knocked out. Terry goes up to a 4-win streak, so... Alright, here we go in the game number 1 of this best of 3. And this is Terry's 5th opponent, and Monster, who has fought here numerous times. I would say 6 or 7 times. And looks like... Okay, let me make sure we got the hand. Okay, we need to fix this real fast.
I can fix anything.
So the Mech Mage, which is another Terry deck that we haven't really seen. So he's looked like he's cycling through all 9 deck slots for us. And once Monster fixes his settings, okay, here we go. We're gonna reload this real fast. looks like we did get it for monster. And Swiftest, you're there, right? You're just chilling out. Swiftest, are you there? Can you hear me? Yo, Swiftest.
Hello?
Okay, cool. Gotcha.
Huh.
Alright, cool. So into this game we got a mech mage versus mid-range. And this could turn into a race, but it'd probably be more control-y style. Do you have any experience in this specific matchup?
I've played a bit of both classes. I don't think I've played mid-range versus mech mage.
Okay, so
Though it's kind of hard to tell.
yeah.
I feel like mid-range might have a bit of a better chance.
Yeah. Mech Mage is considered like one of those tier 1 decks, so we'll probably have a lot of fun. So is, I guess, mid-range Hunter.
Yeah, mid-range Hunter's definitely up there as well.
Monster's drawing a little bit dry on his turn 4. His beast was killed, so no Houndmaster. So maybe he'll try to get lucky getting something out of the Shredder that his Haunted Creeper could actually kill. Like maybe a
Yeah,
one-eye
looks like-
cheat or... Oh, wow. Okay, so Vitality Totem. Right, that's the name.
Actually, not a terrible draw for the mech mage.
Yeah. I mean, it's something
Getting that free heal at the end of the turn.
Yeah, and the Hunter can't kill it right away? Looks like he's just gonna get it down a little bit. I think that he probably should have just gone face, considering he's probably going to Houndmaster or Lotheb. But getting it down by 1 life works too. And Terry's just denying these beasts. Oh wow. Monster has a Stranglethorn Tiger. Okay. One of those cards that was kind of run a while ago, just as another solid beast, but it's kind of been cycled out given the amount of card variety we have these days with Nax and GBG. So hopefully we'll get some nice uses out of it.
Yeah, coming from that web spinner, it's still a
Oh,
relatively good drop for the
it gave
mid-range
you the web
Hunter.
spinner?
Yeah, it did.
Okay, cool. I didn't catch that. I was just assuming it was one of those drops, but nice. Span High Main comes out. And Dr. Boom to follow up the Span High Main. So one of the 2 most powerful drops in their respective mana slots.
Yeah, and kind of hard to remove the Dr. Boom here.
Yeah. Maybe. Oh, he gets the lucky Leok.
Well, that makes it significantly easier. He wants to trade in the high main, and he will. He maybe follows this up with a Houndmaster.
Yeah, I was trying to think what would work. Now, probably on a Hyena, right? I guess he disagrees.
I don't think you want to put it on. Interesting. He does put it onto the Lock, but you'd think you'd want to keep that alive more than anything, really.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But it does have the most health, and did bait out a Fireball, so I guess he's happy with that. And
Yeah, I guess he's pretty okay with it.
So the Mech Mage, or I mean the Blast Mage, the most OP card considered in the game right now, does come down. I guess maybe behind Dr. Boom, but does a lot of
Yeah.
work. Forcing out a kill command. And the Vitality Tome doing some serious work, overhealing the Mage. And here we go with the freezes. No weapons in sight, so not too big of a deal, but still rather annoying. Alright, so far we're 1 damage off lethal if everything survives, but you know, the Tiger will start eliminating stuff.
Savannah Highmane looks really good here, followed by a freezing trap.
Yeah.
Both fireballs have been used, so it's more than likely that it stays on the board here, and if it doesn't, it still trades really well with that water elemental.
Yeah. And Terry's gonna choose to use the freezing trap onto his Mad Scientist. We haven't seen any mirror entities just yet, so. And both, like, Savannah Highmanes have been gone down, so hopefully we'll see some nice minions absorb the mirror entity when it does come down, but this game might just end before that.
Yeah. Primary Winder, not a terrible pickup.
No.
Another freezing trap in hand as well.
What would you think would he use on this? Maybe
Well,
his
you can.
Vitality Totem, or
Yeah. Also, I was thinking there he could attack into the tiger with the water elemental and then bring it back. You can also re-proc that Tinker. Well, if it wasn't dead, he could have.
yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, that's good. So the second freezing trap is gonna go down. This mad scientist probably won't proc any secrets, but we'll have to see. Now a frostbolt would have been close to lethal, but not quite. Still has one fireball in the deck and Antonitis whenever he does get it.
Yes, it's not looking good for the hunter at the moment at all.
Oh well, can you clear the board at least? That's probably
With that,
a
yes.
step in the right direction.
I wonder if he can, or if he's running a snake trap or explosive trap or anything else, or just the freezing traps.
Yeah, we'll take a look. Okay, so yep, only the freezing
Does
trap.
not look like it.
And then Mirror Entity out for the mage. And now I guess oh, okay, that's lethal, dang it. Frost Novas finally get top
Yeah,
deck, and Terry off to his another win streak potential with 27 left.
Yeah, another relatively quick game as well.
Yeah. Okay, here we go in game number 2, and the score is currently Terry up by 1 game. Monster trying to take the throne from him, but Terry's situated pretty tight up there.
Terry has just looked strong all night so far and
Yeah.
doesn't appear to be letting up at all.
He's used almost every deck in the game. We haven't really seen maybe a nice Warlock play, no Paladins just yet, but pretty much everything else.
Yeah, well, he's back onto this oil rogue for the 3rd time now, I think.
And against a Priest, that's a fairly bad matchup for the Priest, I'm pretty sure. The Priest will have...
Yeah.
Especially if he gets a sap on, like, a Blade Master with Circle of Healing, that's kind of a game changer. But hopefully he's able to get it out next turn without being sapped. No, okay, looks like he's wanting to go for Thought Steal. Okay, so rogues are notorious for having useless cards, and the Blade Flurry is one of those notoriously useless cards, but the prep should be pretty useful.
Yeah, the prep's not too bad.
Now, I have a question for you. If he uses Blade Flurry with, like, a Valen's Chosen spell damage, will it do 1 damage, even if he doesn't have a weapon? I would assume no, but it's worth
Yeah,
asking.
you can't... Blade Flurry is actually unplayable without a weapon,
Okay, alright.
so...
Yeah, I don't know how he's gonna get a weapon, or even if it's possible, but... Yeah.
Well, the only way would be if he thought stole Assassin's Blade or something like that, and that's depending on whether Terry is even running it, and we haven't seen it yet, so I doubt that he is.
Yeah, okay. Ooh. Terrible drop from the Shredder, but he still has board control, so hopefully it shouldn't be too bad.
Also just a really solid drop there, trading well with the board, and maybe a Lotheb here. There's not really much else going on for him.
Yeah. He doesn't... I was thinking that he might save his minions, but he just trades them in right there, and lets Lotheb take care of the second slime. And it looks like Monster wants to go down with his own Lotheb, maybe a Cleric, considering it might be protected by the slime. Savance is also very good. She can't steal anything right away, but she can't be, you know, devalued by Terry right away either.
No, unless he wants to use Tinkers here just to get rid of that. But yeah, that doesn't look like the case at all.
Well, I mean, even Tinkers gets your dude up to 4 attacks, so I mean, even then it's rather. Well, is that what you're thinking? That he could get
I was
a
just
5 attack, or
yeah, I was thinking he could Tinkers to take out the slime.
oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, that makes sense. All right.
Not no, but yeah, not the most ideal play though.
Yeah.
Quite unideal if anything. So Lotharb's gonna come down here, and that secures a really nice board actually. I think
So do you
you
think
might choose to play something else here.
do you think playing the Farseer was a little bit of a mistake, considering he just gave it as charity? You know, the battle cry goes
yeah.
out, but yet.
He got the battle cry off of it, which I think is what mattered, but he did give Sylvanas a fair bit of value.
Yeah, and maybe he felt comfortable doing it considering he has 2 Blade Flurries, but now those are blocked out, and he's going to do a lot of damage here. And damage is rather relevant to a rogue, even if you're against a priest, considering you use your weapon a lot to trade, so that's going to have him really hesitate if he wants to do any weapon trading in the future.
Yeah, and the Violet Teacher doesn't even survive a turn, and Dr. Boom's really big here, but it might be able to get cleared off depending on what the draw is. And yeah, that looks like a board clear, and yeah, it is.
He's going to do a Naked Tinker's Oil. Seven of this on Boom. Boombot's hit for 3 and 1, so 4 total. Oh, okay. Clears the board, has a rather dry hand, but Prep Sprint will help him out, hopefully. Monster's able to lay down some really solid minions, to be honest.
Stand ready.
And he's just holding on to the prep. Eventually, hopefully, he'll be able to use it.
Yeah, and meanwhile, we see Terry drawing his second prep, and prepping Sprint there.
Okay.
Sap a good pickup.
Yeah, ooh, a Thalnos.
And yeah, Thalnos as well.
So he's gonna hold on. I was thinking he might do a Thalnos Animax, but that doesn't really accomplish too much. Probably just bait for more minions to hit the board.
Embrace the void.
Going for offensive hero power rather than defensive, and then playing it after. And that does set up lethal. The Blade Flurry will clear the board probably, considering he has Tinker, Sharpshooter, Oil, and Deadly Poison.
Yeah, but that's also going to be the Rogue's combo. Completely lost. Because he's used both Tinkers and both Flurries now, and... Oh, well, he hasn't used the Tinkers, I guess, but...
Yeah, he's able
Still
to
not the,
hold on to it.
Yeah, still not the best situation to be in here.
Yeah, he's still low life, and like Swift has said, both Blade Flurries are gone, and that's considered, you know, that's like the Leroy of this new Rogue deck, so that's gone.
Embrace the void.
Monster's able to take out the spell damage. Give Terry a card. Oh, nice cycle card, too. Alright. Naked Blade Master is going to go down, and I guess he has the death for whenever Edwin, if potentially Edwin does come out.
Yeah.
But I'm guessing the death might be useless unless a Tinker or Sharpshooter Oil buffs up a minion high enough.
Sap on the Blade Master isn't really great, but he's got to do it just to get rid of that damage, really.
Yeah, double sap even. Okay, so Circle of Healing plus the Alkanite could be lethal if he gets like a zombie chow. We don't know if he's running it, but looks like he just wants to get rid of the spell damage. Oof, okay. Goes with the offensive ping, and that leaves... wow. Ooh, that's a 7 agent. That's crucial. That could clear the board. And that allows 2 minions to get developed. So, okay. With the Tinker Sharp Soul Oil, that's going to be like 6 damage from that, and then this is 7. So he's going to get 13 damage potentially, plus the... so he's up to 15. Ooh.
Yeah, so...
He can get up to 18 damage, I think, if I'm calculating everything correctly. and he would still have a
Yeah.
rather juiced up weapon.
Yeah, this could be a problem for the priest there. Priest was looking really good for a moment, and then just that SI7 just really swung the board around into the rogue's favor here.
Yeah. And we have to note that the Sharp Sword did go on this guy, which won't be necessarily too good. It's probably best on one of the other ones, considering the Pyromancer will kill that anyway.
Yeah. I think the only thing that can really pull the priest out here might be looks like he's going to prep. Surprised he doesn't Shadow Word Death it.
And that would be a nice starter into the combo.
Yeah. Because he really wants. Oh.
He gets a zombie chow
not gonna do it
after we
either.
mentioned that he could have had lethal with his Alchemy.
Yeah.
Oh, dang it. Alright, so Terry takes another
Yeah.
victim. Alright, so Terry's getting rather tired. We'll see if he wants to play one more match, but he's up to a 5-win streak, so he'll probably win the night altogether. Terry is essentially a 6th opponent, and he is up against a fairly heavy hitter, if I would do say so myself. Yodi is a Japanese player who has played in some LAN events himself and won quite a bit of money already. Can't see his hand, so we'll let him know. So this might be one of the best matchups tonight. And we finally see the Warlock coming out from Terry.
Definitely a variant of Demon Lock here, and we haven't seen it today.
Yeah.
And look at all those golden cards and the golden portrait.
Yeah. Sadly, his cheaper minions are not golden, but, you know, whatever it works. So we just need to wait a little bit. Yodi is Japanese, so he might have trouble understanding us, but I'm sure he'll figure out what we kind of need from him. And let's just try to reload this. Hopefully he's figuring it out. Yeah, it looks like we're good. Okay, so it looks like we have a Shadow Priest so far from Yodi. We have to reload this one more time, hopefully it works. We might have to cast this from one side. Okay, there it is. Nice, okay. Hopefully that stays there. Okay, cool, we got it. So it looks like, so standard-ish looking priest just with a shadow boxer thrown in, maybe for some anti-hunter shenanigans. But
Yeah.
so this looks like a demon warlock / hand warlock.
I think this might be a variant I've been running recently. That's Strife co-built, and it's generally considered no giants handlock.
Okay.
So it's kind of like if regular handlock and demon lock had a child.
Alright, that works.
Relatively.
That works. Yeah, we've seen a lot of mixture between the two decks, and they've kind of almost been fused quite nicely. And Yodi was 1 mana off being able to kill that with a really nice smite, but he still gets the life. It's sadly gonna be silenced, but still really good trade, I would think, for Yodi.
Yeah, massive trade there, getting that 8 health off of it, and
And weren't you saying something about this kind of being like a no giants deck? So
Damn, stand ready.
yeah, maybe it's not the deck I was thinking it was. It's
okay, cool. So it's a little bit different, but like we said before, you know, demon warlock, hand warlock, they kind of are almost interchangeable at this point. So looks like we're seeing that.
yeah. And so far, the Warlock taking a lot of damage, but he does have some taunts in hand here.
Yeah,
So I don't think he's feeling too threatened at the moment.
yeah. this priest is kind of like I would consider this almost like a little spin on a Shadow Priest, considering the Light of the Naru can be used with Alkanai just as a burst, and we saw the Shadow Boxer in there, so we might see a Mind Blast eventually, which could be really, really surprising for Terry. Like, you're not expecting that card at all.
In the light's name.
So hopefully we'll get
Yeah.
lucky.
Most of the time when you, the rare times when you do see a Mind Blast, you're very surprised to see it. It's
Yeah.
not a regular card at all.
And he's able to top deck a Blade Master, which will buff up his girl quite a bit, so that's a really nice draw. But here we go with the
And-
huge power plays.
Yeah, some big taunts coming down now.
Yeah. No deaths or silences or any answers just yet, so he's probably gonna have to do some hard trading here. Maybe start with some card draw.
Well, he may be able to buff the Light Warden up quite significantly here.
Oh yeah, with the heal.
Through the Chow.
Circling of healing. Oh, the Chow too. That's
Yeah.
a good point. Okay. So it could get up
And
to
I think that,
7 or 9.
yeah, 9 I think in total with that heal.
Nice. Okay.
And he has 2 circles. It's not gonna circle. The second circle isn't gonna matter, but he's gonna be able to take out this giant here. So
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Nice. Okay. So that's the last big threat, but Terry does have plenty of taunts still in his hand, so he's not shit out of luck just yet. But the 1 mana drop does trade with the the giant. It starts at 20 mana, so that's nice. Valen's Chosen is going to keep his cleric alive for quite a while, and he definitely needs it considering his hand. Now this looks like a nice situation for the priest, even though, board control and hand control. Oh, wow. Yeah, this is definitely a shadow style. He's gonna
thinking about playing Circle here.
And I guess he just desperately needs those cards.
And he gets Power Word Shield so he can buff up again and draw another card, and there's a Mind Blast.
So, yeah, I guess that's lethal with the...
Yeah, that's lethal with the villains, yeah. And,
it's-
yeah, as you
even the
said,
7 with the balance double. Okay.
yeah, that's insane.
Alright, well, like we said, Yodi he's a tournament player in Japan, so this will probably be a really fun series. Yodi starts out with a nice lead. Looks like Yodi chose the Warlock this time. Looks standard control Warlock. Probably, mix of giants and demons in there, I'm sure. Terry's gonna go with a probably rather standard storm. Ooh, we see a Faceless Manipulator for Yodi.
What's that 9 drop there? Alex Strasser, okay, yeah, that's...
And a Bloodlust for Terry. Nice. Okay.
So, this looks like one of the older handlock decks running that Faceless Manipulator.
Yeah, rather old school. I mean, Faceless Manipulator was really popular at the time, but...
Actually, it looks like he might be playing Combo Lock here because he's got that Power Overwhelming as well.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. So to remind everyone who's watching, that means that he's probably running Arcane Golem, 2 Power Overwhelmings, and then a Faceless Manipulator to essentially do 20 damage in 1 turn. And Shamans don't run too much healing, so if he gets to that point, we might just see Yodi turtle it out until he gets all the combo pieces.
And so a really easy Hellfire there, taking
Yeah.
out the 2 Wolves, which can be quite a hurdle to get past in this early game.
Yeah. Ooh, and a second Hellfire, that's gonna be nice here shortly. And he's able to tap, get his Mountain Giant probably to 3 mana next turn, and then develop a Farseer probably after that, so... Yodi has a really strong start. Well, I mean, even Terry's start is nice as well. I mean, he has Bloodlust, and so we're gonna see some hot action here soon.
Yeah, and if this giant does come down here, the shaman doesn't have a hex in hand, and not really too many answers for it.
Oh wow, did you see that? So Terry just played the giant and then didn't want to develop anything beyond that, like not even a tap, so okay. Well, if he would have tapped, would he overdraw it? Maybe, that's
Yeah, he would have overdrawn, yeah.
okay. Nice Black Knight for the Sludge Belcher that will eventually hit. Okay, so Millhouse Manstorm, nice.
Yeah, not the best drop to get there, but the Fallen Drake should go down to a Mortal Coil.
Yeah. Now Earthshock is gonna go down here. Probably should have been saved for a Twilight Drake, but that 8-1 Giant's just too juicy not to use it.
Yeah, I think he kind of had to go down there. In a sense, it's a very Giant's just very dangerous in general. So
Yeah, and I mean we don't even see any Twilight Drakes in the hand, so we might not even see it in the deck, to be honest. Like we said, this is potentially a combo handlock, so we might just switch those out.
yeah, and Thanos, not the best drop, very vulnerable to a Mortal Coil there.
Does suck
And the
nice.
top deck Hex.
Yeah, the Hex. And then here we go with the Black Knight activation.
So Jiraxis and Alex Strauss in this deck. It's very interesting.
Yeah.
It's usually one or the other in most decks, but
One of those combo pieces as well is, you know, really sets us on our toes. Dr. Bomb with a totem, I mean, the Bloodlust, you know,
yeah, Bloodlust has really good value here.
I mean, even if he does set up a taunt, there's just so much damage that could come out, it's just really scary.
Yeah, and there's no Hellfires left.
Yeah.
Dr. Boom does get BGH, but it's gonna be 12 extra damage. He has
Whoa.
14 life, so
With that Earthshock, is that lethal?
yeah, I think it should be. Yeah, that's gonna be 12 damage,
Yeah,
and
that's 12 damage from Lust
that'll be
alone.
14 in
Nice.
total.
Nice. Alright, so we're tied up. Terry takes the first or second game by 24 life. Signed game 3 against these guys.
Watch
Looks like
your
the again switched up their decks, and Yodi is playing a hand rogue, which we've seen him play before, and he's won several games with it. So this is gonna be another one of those interesting, you know, meta shifting decks that hopefully will catch on.
Job's done.
Mid range for Terry. We've seen Terry. I think that's might be one of be his favorite decks. He's used it 3 or 4 times now in his, you know, 5-win streaks.
Job's done.
Yeah, he's used it. He's used that and Oil Rogue quite a few times now.
Yeah. Now, as far as development for Yodi, goes with the dagger, and we've talked about this a little bit before, but the reason that the Clockwork Gnome is in this hand rogue deck is because the Death Rattle gives you another card in your hand and allows you to get, you know, the Mountain Giants out, the Twilight Drakes out, so it's just used as a nice one drop that, you know, replaces itself.
Yeah.
Mid-range Hunter is able to develop pretty solidly right here. Now, I'm pretty sure that Terry was the one that also runs snakes. Am I thinking about that correctly?
Yeah, he was running Freezing and Snakes, I believe, yeah.
Okay, cool. So, he does have the potential to get both traps out soon. But,
So we should see a giant coming down here.
yeah.
It is dealable. Like, it can be dealt with by Terry here, but might have to burn a kill command.
So we get a snake trap up. Now, how are you I was trying to think about how you were gonna actually kill that. Probably one command and then trade all your guys into it, probably?
Yeah, I think he's waiting until he can get a beast on the board
Yeah.
to just throw one kill command at it, rather than kill commanding and then throwing the shredder in, which would be pretty not ideal. overall.
Yeah. But he doesn't go for that. Now,
So many options.
he was wanting to get a freezing trap from that, you know, suiciding the dude in, but he gets a snakes, which probably decent. Yodi doesn't know exactly what it is just yet, so we might see him hold on the giant attacks, just assuming that
Yes.
it's freezing.
So we see Coin eviscerate, and
Why would he freeze a minion here? Is he just scared for his life?
he's definitely setting up a Van Cleef here.
Comboing, yeah, nice.
Yeah, and that's going to be an 8-8, so that's pretty big.
Now, he did hold on the giant attack, so he doesn't... He is scared of the trap.
Yeah, he doesn't want that snake. He doesn't want a freezing trap to be proc here.
Yeah.
And snake trap would still be pretty bad with those 3-1-1s, just allowing that giant to be killed off pretty easily.
He does have the Phantom Knives, though, so he does risk it, and he gets rewarded with the Phantom Knives draw. So, looks like he's gonna go for that rather than developing an Azure Drake, which is nice. I mean, he's down on health a little bit, so it works. Going with face with the Edwin, bold. All right, nice. And that means Terry is calculating lethal right here with this double kill commands. And he has it.
Yeah, he does, yeah.
Considering... Oh, yeah. Okay, cool. So, Terry's gonna take this, and Yodi is gonna have to rethink his hand rogue, I guess. But
Played.
it was fun to watch.
Yeah, it was looking really strong there. I think he just went a bit overboard, just not accounting for that kind of lethal.
Yeah. I mean, the Sman High main's on board, and that's gonna, you know, put him down to at least 8. So, anyway, this is Terry's 7th opponent. He has won 6 games so far, and Central Panda is in here, hopefully to deny any 7th shenanigans. If he does get the win, or if Terry gets the win right here, he will kind of break the win streak record, and that's gonna be kind of a big deal. Let's get Terry's hand, or Sinful's hand up. Oh, awesome, we can't see it. Hold on real fast and we'll fix that. So Terry's throwing out a priest, which I don't think we've seen before. And he has a nice strong start with Zombie Chow and plenty of buffs with the Cleric to start some card draw.
Yeah, really nice start from here, yeah.
Okay, we need to reload this real fast. Shouldn't take more than 10 seconds. Yeah, and we got it. And as far as... Ooh, is this a zoo? Let's take a look. Yeah, it looks like a zoo. Okay, nice. So zoo has kind of died off since GVG. It's almost considered extinct, but there was a Reddit post about a Chinese guy getting quite high with it in NA, so it might do some serious work here. Hopefully he plays it correctly. And against a priest is probably a fairly good matchup, I would think. Priests sometimes have some nice AoE board clears, but not as much as other classes.
Yeah, it could go either way, really. The priest does have the heal factor, which can be pretty damaging for an aggro deck, but
Yeah.
The damned stand ready.
Terry's looking to develop a fairly strong board, and the nice circle of healing is going to give him 3 cards.
Not quite what was planned.
Oh, and looks like Terry wanted to try to kill the Shredder, but didn't quite work as planned, as Anduin said nicely for him. And here we go with Sinful Panda. He's probably gonna do maybe Dire Wolf into a Beast of Sergeant something combo. Maybe just a standard Shredder. He probably wants to kill the Cleric. That's probably his #1 goal this turn.
Yeah, he doesn't want that draw. Giving the priest a card advantage.
Yeah, and the Dire Wolves allow him to do that. And then beyond, oh wow, okay. So he's trying to figure out exactly which 5 health creature to kill, and Cleric's definitely the best in my opinion, but he decides to go with that. And this looks like it's going to be maybe a mech spin on Zoo, so we might see like the Fell Cannon in there. We might. What else synergy do we potentially have? Probably just other standard mech cards. Goes with the life tap rather than throwing down the 2 mechs in his hand. And Terry's just not giving a flying fuck about the board. He just goes for face, realizing he has a taunt up, let his opponent do the dirty work trading.
Get in there and fight, maggot!
Frostwolf Grunt's probably pretty solid. I mean, now Terry's forced to do some trading, but you know, there's better minions out there.
Hurry up! Portals online!
Looks like it's just gonna swarm the hell out of the board. Wow, yeah. No AoE for Terry just yet, besides the Pyromancer, which really can't be used too well. But you know, he could top deck the circle and that would just be it. I mean, Sinful Panda would almost pretty much be done. He's not that lucky. Sinful Panda still has a huge board, and Terry can probably pull this out with some nice trades, but it's looking rather interesting.
I must consider.
Looks like he wants to do like a Blade Master Cleric combo, get some extra card draw. And that would give him a few more chances to get the circle that he needs to combo with his Alchemy. Oh, and he gets it, nice.
Would you just be able to refresh the screen share really quickly?
I was wondering why you're so quiet. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, it kind of just like froze for some reason. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I mean, it's the internet does that, but no worries. Okay, it should be loading in for you now. You get it, or is it still kind of laggy?
Yeah, it's better.
Okay, cool, nice. So
Yeah, so
Terry's able to clear the board with his Circle Alchemy combo. I guess Simple Panda's gonna do the trading, so it might not be as juicy as we once thought.
and in this case here, I mean, he'd be left with just the Orkney on the board. It's a 3-1 after that. Because you'd have to use the... You think you'd have to use the Blade Master to take out that egg or anything that really drops there, and the Annoytron is quite annoying as well, so it just blocks that out. Orkney does come down.
Yeah.
So he chooses to proc the egg first, yeah, and
That's nice. I mean, really clean play. His Blade Master does stay alive, but he's not able to heal it up. So I would give, game position over to Terry, to be honest.
yeah, he's in a very strong spot now, and Zilok doesn't have many answers. He's going to trade the Kobold into the Blade Master. Just drop down a Void Walker here.
Oh, wow. Okay, yeah, and... okay, wow, Simple just goes off. Okay, yeah, I mean, Terry had plenty of answers. He had heal, he had mind control, Doomguard came down, yeah, so anyway. Alright, here we go, game number 2. This is Terry versus Sinful. And so far Terry is trying to get his 7th win streak, which would kind of be a record. he mentioned to me earlier that he did win the last Zodiac Cup, so he's used to these type of tournaments where have a lot of opponents and such and such and such. So looks like we have a giant style mage with the tempo spin, and this will probably be pretty fun. We have unstable portal, just keep the action rolling.
Armor made to fit.
Nice. Okay, so this is the double frothing berserker deck that we saw earlier, and I mean that's something that the mage really has to be scared of. It does have the flame strike for if it does get kind of insane. But that's not for a while. And as far as what we got from the stable portal, it is the lost tail strider, tall strider. So that turret trades really well with the board so far. Counterspell, okay. Is your screen frozen again?
No, it's fine.
Okay, cool.
Sinful has 2 secrets in hand here, and also the mad scientist. So I wonder if he's playing a third, or if that's just going to lose that value there.
Yeah. So counterspell and okay. So the ice block is rather interesting. That's something that definitely goes with the molten giant, but not something very common in a tempo style, which I think he's trying to aim. So we might see some other tech in here that kind of goes with that theme. He's gonna juice up his berserker. And here we go. What does that mean, like 9 or 10 to face? Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was.
So there is another secret.
I first thought it might be vaporize. I'd be like, wow, that's lucky, but it's just the ice barrier, so.
Hmm. Frothing Berserker looking really dangerous, and not a surefire way to deal with it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess he's just gonna force the ping down that, just juicing up his die some more. And he's able to clear the board with a cruel task as well.
Yeah, and that's gonna buff that up to an 11.
12, and then once he does this, yeah. So wow, and then okay, and then he even has the heavier card draw, or I mean cards in his hand once the berserker does die. And watch, we just see
Yeah.
oh wow, okay. So he's forced to taunt up here.
Shields up.
But I
Yes,
mean,
the taunt should save him here, shouldn't it?
yeah, but the berserker's just he's done 2 hits to face, and then now it's gonna kill a molten giant. So it's done so much work.
Yeah, it's done more than enough, really.
Yeah. And now here we go with the nice curve for Terry. And then if any of his guys get low, you can just help us on next turn and heal him back up. But looks like Sinful Panda won't be able to set down anything that would be a good trade for Kel'Thuzad anyway. So as far as secrets up, we have Counterspell and Ice Block, just to refresh our memories. But, okay, so we might see the first spell being played right here. Which will probably be a Shield Block. Oh, no.
No.
Yeah, Terry's just reading this really well and just saying, fuck it, I don't need to play Shield Block.
Well, I think at this point he's pretty much seen every single... You know, he's tested for every single other spell by attacking face, attacking minions, and
Yeah, that's probably true. Even playing minions and stuff, so.
Kel'Thuzad comes out and just allows a nice little trade there.
Yeah. Sinful Panda's probably gonna polymorph it, but you know, it's got its use. Okay, so Terry's able to finally procced the secret. He probably knew exactly what that was.
Yeah, so he procs it with the with the whirlwind there, and because he picked up that shield slam, he can take out the giant relatively easily.
Yeah,
Armor made to fit.
and here we go. A nice board, and Pyroblast is not gonna help him whatsoever. But you know, Iceblock still is up, so he has some chances. Oh,
Yeah.
Well played.
so Terry's gonna take the first game with 24 life, and he's just wrecking his opponent. All right, welcome back, everyone. We got Terry's, I guess, 8th opponent in this kind of crazy win streak. It's going to be Dairy Warrior.
I must protect the wild.
And once again, we can't see the hand, so just hold him a bit. And looks like Terry's going to go with a Druid, but he doesn't get any wild growths or innervate, so probably just, hopefully, you know, the standard minions probably thrown out each turn, and Paladin should probably hold it off. We'll see eventually once we can see the hand. And as far as opponents, it looks like we have 2 more opponents left after this guy is done, or if, you know, Derry is able to actually win, Derry can potentially go on a 3-win streak at most, so Terry's almost guaranteed to win this with his, you know, insane 7-win streak. Loaded into this game once again.
Yeah, Terry's looking really good at the moment, and not really sure anyone can stop him. He's on an absolute rampage, really.
Yeah. He has a really nice curve too here as well. I think he probably just hero powered turn 2. Yeah, considering the armor. Yeah, okay, so not the best turn 2, but he does have a nice turn 1 and turn 3.
Yeah, coming really well into that shade there, and he might just Wrath and hero power on turn 4 possibly, but it's looking less likely now with the it's looking a bit more likely even. Just to remove that, but the Shredder looks much better actually.
Yeah, nice top deck.
Yeah, for a top deck draw.
Okay, so turn 4 for this Dairy Warrior. Do you think you throw down the naked mind control? I guess. See what comes out of the Shredder, and if it's threatening enough, maybe he does throw it down.
Reporting for duty.
Yeah, it just goes with the hero power.
Yeah, hero powering isn't too bad there either. I guess it does waste some mana, but Mistress isn't too threatening coming out of that Shredder there, so...
Yeah. No way for the Druid to buff it up as a scary 6-9, but will eat away at the guy, and considering that Dairy Warrior is running the Guardian of Kings, okay, I was just about to say he might not run the Quartermaster combo, but he just got the Quartermaster, so there's that.
Yeah, but no muster so far, and a muster at the moment would just be answered by that swipe, so he's going to be holding that for a few turns at least.
Yeah. Hopefully he'll get it by turn 8 for the magical Wombo combo. And this turn 6 from Terry, looks like he's just going to go with the 2 damage onto the bot.
I must safeguard.
And that leaves my control tech. Oh, never mind. Okay. So Terry playing around that beautifully by trading in his shade.
Yeah.
Now is okay. It looks like
I have no time
Sylvanas
for
looks
games.
nice. He just see a keeper come down, so hopefully we'll get some value. Looks like he's just gonna trade everything into it, to be honest.
Yep, it's going to be an Ancient of Law coming down to get those cards.
Yeah. So Sylvanas just basically attacked 3 times in 1 turn, clearing the board. So definitely not a loss, but you know, not the maximum potential of her. Ooh,
And turn 8 looks really interesting now for Dairy here. He has TerriEN, but on top of that, he's got the Muster Quartermaster combo.
yeah. And this guy also trades very well with the lore, even though there is some ways to deal with it.
Yeah, I think Wrath will come down for that 1 damage here.
Do you think double Wrath for 3? Oh yeah, yep, looks like.
Or double Wrath for 3, yeah, that's also an option too. If he does want to keep that Ancient of Lore alive.
I guess he feels comfortable on cards, so yeah, it looks like that does work quite well.
I'll be interested to see what the play here is.
Yeah,
There is a silence in hand for TerriEN.
I personally would probably feel more comfortable with TerriEN just because it trades very well with the board.
Yeah.
And you've already seen one silence come out, but looks like he disagrees with me. Definitely does the right play as we mentioned with that silence.
To arms, men!
Starts up a really
Yeah, well-
board master.
For a Druid here, these 3/3s with that 2/5 are very hard to deal with, even with a swipe.
Yeah. I mean, they're hard for like everyone considering they just pop on the board instantly. There's no like lead up time to them.
Yeah, and Scenarios can drop those 2 taunts. Soak up a bit of damage here, but
And also get the guys down to swipe level, but it looks like mind control tech. Ooh.
yeah, oh yeah, mind control tech indeed, and
50-50 to get something good and he gets something bad, but it still works, you know. Swing the board.
he still takes one of the taunts here, so he can remove a Treant and the Ancient of Lore, so 2 rather large threats, and he might... Yeah, he could Aldor one something here as well.
Now, if the outdoors, does that mean that he's going to trade all 3 guys into that? I think that'd be a solid
Yeah,
play.
he definitely might be.
Okay. Huh. He's gonna leave it alive. He says, you know, you only have 1 attack, you're not too threatening. And now, we almost have to start calculating lethal for the paladin. He's not.
Yeah, he has a
they're
very
not
aggressive board here.
yet, but he's gonna swipe the dude just in case the second quartermaster comes out, probably. And sets up his Sylvanas, and ooh, land hands, nice. He's safe from combo range right now if there's no minions on board, but he could probably use that a little bit later when he needs it. But I vote he just goes for TerriEN. Now, you know, like we said before, the silence is his hand, but he doesn't know that, so hopefully we get to see that. Oh wait, it's probably stupid. But if he does silence the Sylvanas, he's probably alright, right?
Yeah, silence in the Sylvanas, and I think he might lay on hands here as well.
Okay, so just like a recharge turn for him then.
Yeah, he's able to clear the board off of the back of that, and he's just seen a swipe come out, so he's not really too fussed about having minions on 1 health at the moment.
Yeah. He is down to the magical 14 life, so land hands or TerriEN will save his ass. And starting with some card draw, only 1 piece of the combo in hand, and he gets a second Savage Roar.
I must safeguard.
Okay. Ooh, Concentrate. He can't use it just yet. But the double equality means that he can probably use them very flexibly and just kind of answer everything that, you know, Terry kind of throws down.
Yeah. Even though TerriEN's even though TerriEN got silenced, there's still quite a threatening 6/6 body on the board.
Yeah.
Mind if I roll knee?
And I mean, the Druid doesn't, you know, have those nice answers to deal with them like a Polymorph just to get rid of the Death Rattle and the actual body, so silence is the best that they can do, but, you know, like Sito said, he's still there, he's still able to get work done. And Terry recognizes that, you know, he needs help, and he's just gonna go charge mode all the way there, and Dairy Warriors maybe answer with the Equality Consecrate?
It's definitely a possibility.
That means he's probably gonna throw his Loot Hooder into the second half of the Sludge Belcher just to
Let me think.
keep his TerriEN alive at 1 health. And then if he does that, that's gonna essentially put Terry down to about down to 5 life, to be honest.
Yeah.
Let me think.
Definitely thinking about this. This is one of those funky turns where he has plenty of good options. I mean, he can heal, he can taunt, he can clear. So
Mm.
obviously,
I think a quality consecrate is just the best play here.
okay, interesting. So he goes for a
Yeah, so
trade
he-
sooner, and that just
Well,
means
it's-
he's able to keep his loot hoarder alive.
Yeah, so it's not too bad, and TerriEN was gonna lose that health anyway, so it's not really
Yeah, I mean,
a bad trade or anything like that. And looks like Derry might just take this one,
yeah.
but there is the mind control in hand here, and we'll see what that manages to steal. But
Dislocate her.
yeah, it doesn't particularly matter.
Yep, so the loot hoarder wasn't quite convincing enough for Terry. He's just gonna give up. And Derry takes it with 18 life. Alright, we're into game number 2. This is
You asked.
Derry Warrior versus Terry, who is currently on a 7-win streak, so... and then Derry Warrior is actually ahead in this matchup. And we have a mech mage versus a mid-range hunter.
Mm. So we see Terry falling back onto this deck again.
Yeah,
I
and
believe he did it last time as well.
he's only lost, you know, as far as my record showed, 2 games tonight. Well, I mean 3 games tonight, including that last one. And I do feel that, you know, he does fall back on this a little bit, so it's probably one of his more grindy ladder decks, so he probably feels more comfortable, you know, going into a random matchup with it.
Yeah.
Put this apple on your head.
And the web spinner does get a starving buzzard, nice. And I guess Terry is running like Snake Trap and Unleash the Hound, so the starving buzzard hopefully will do some work there. He does have the Savannah High main, which also summons Beast, so hopefully some card draw eventually out of that thing.
What to do?
Oh
What
wow,
to do?
Derry Warrior is running a Blinktron. So that probably means maybe a Harrison as well?
Yeah, possibly.
Now Terry's able to develop his first Shredder. And hopefully Terry doesn't play a naked Harrison Jones. Hopefully he realizes that, you know, Blinktron may be in this deck, so hopefully he hangs on to that. Blast Mage as always comes down. If there's anyone else minions, and, just does its thing. Terry's playing rather defensively here, killing the Harvest Golem second half of it. And here we go with the Frostbolt to see what comes out of the next Shredder. Okay, Snow Chugger works, that's good.
Not really a terrible drop, it kind of stops the Blast Mage from trading in there.
Yeah, I mean, it could be used to essentially force the mage not to attack with his Blinktron weapon, or I mean,
Something needs tinkering?
the Blast Mage, like you said, or even the Tinkertown, so yeah, definitely good.
And we may see the second Frostbolt come down here on it,
That belongs in a museum.
Oh,
or just a trade.
Terry does not save his Harrison Jones for the Blinktron, so we're kind of sad about that, but it does create a little bit more interesting game, as you know, the weapon will stay in play. So board advantage staying with Derry Warrior, but Savannah Hyman's probably going to end up changing that.
Put this apple on
Yeah, Savannah Highman's a really strong card for board advantage here.
Yeah. And Terry's looking to get kind of lucky onto the Tinkertown, it looks like. But he doesn't get that lucky, so he's just gonna choose to freeze face. And we still haven't seen Blingtron, so hopefully Dairy Warrior feels comfortable enough to play that here soon. He has no mech activation for the Blast Mage. And he's able to send the Tinkertown back to his hand, so he's hopefully stabilizing here at 14 life against this mech mage.
Yeah, but there is that fireball in hand there, and that's 11 damage. Plus the ping is 12 straight up. I mean,
Oh, that's a good point.
a lot
yeah.
of damage to have on the board, and
What to do?
And then,
What to do?
if he ever does get unfrozen, the weapon can be kind of bursty in its own sense, so... He's just
Yeah.
gonna go purely for face and redevelop his minions.
I think he realizes that the Snow Trigger can't keep going face. It's gonna have to help clear the board here.
Yeah. As far as
And so it's either going-
the trap was a snake
We've
trap,
seen-
and that's just lethal right there. He might be trying to bluff a freezing trap, but I don't think it's gonna work. Derry hopefully has the courage just to go for lethal right here. Okay.
So he does throw down the polymorph, so he's probably thinking that's a freezing trap.
Still has mana for fireball, so
Or he,
yeah, there he is.
yes, yeah. So he's read that very well, and
Well played.
Terry's rampage unfortunately comes to an end here.
Yeah, rather interesting. I mean, Derry were even won with 2-0 against this guy, so quite fun.
Yeah.